ABC welcomes you to the following presentation of the XFL.
Please give me one more day of February. Blustery 34 degrees, East Rutherford, New Jersey. MetLife Stadium is the home of the New York Jets, the New York Giants, and the New York Guardians. A home underdog. Get a visit from the LA Wildcats. The Wildcats, a road favorite. The Guardian, the home team. And traveling cross country. It's a small sample size, but that team has yet to be successful. Los Angeles will try to figure that out this afternoon. And welcome everyone to the Progressive Countdown to Kickoff. And with that, very happy week number 4 of the XFL. And good afternoon, I'm Steve Levy. Hope the work week was okay. It's time to play, time to have a good time. Time to leap into week 4 in the XFL. Los Angeles loves a Hollywood story. The script is yet to be written, but what a start to this season. All sorts of hype and buzz for the opener. They gave up 37 points, fired the defensive coordinator, former Giants legend Pepper Johnson, after one game was shown the door. Week 2, they get their starting quarterback Josh Johnson, play a little better, still come up short, fall to 0-2. But last week, huge underdogs at home against the 2-0 mighty defenders. They intercepted Cardale Jones 4 times. Winston Moss got the Gatorade bath. It took a while to get a little smile, but there it was at the end. Big smile from Greg McElroy, and, you know, said a long time ago, famous head coach, you are what your record says you are.
True, yeah.
And the Wildcats, they're 1-2. They seem a lot better than that coming off a win last week.
Man, it was a great performance, too. D.C. took an unblemished record, went out to L.A. and couldn't do anything right. And the Wildcats took great advantage of so many mistakes by the defenders. But you look at L.A., the difference is their quarterback, Josh Johnson. Look, this guy's well-traveled. He's not really a guy that you'd probably see a whole lot if you knew the NFL, but if you followed the NFL, and he's probably been on your favorite team. He's been on 13 in his 12 years up at the show, and he played great last week, really steadying the ship. And starting to feel as though he really has a great grasp of what Norm Chow, the offensive coordinator, wants him to do at quarterback.
So L.A. feels like they've turned their season around. A couple of weeks ago, New York was here in their home opener. They won the game. They're feeling great. They go on the road for 2 games and are outscored 56-9. And Tom Luganbill, the quarterback situation all of a sudden here is kind of a mess.
Well, it is a mess, and injury and ineffectiveness have put Matt McGloin on the sideline. So enter Luis Perez. And why is it important that Luis Perez is the quarterback at this moment? Because he's a calm and steadying force. This is a very volatile, I'll call it fragile offensive line right now, the last 2 weeks for New York. And so they need somebody to come in with a calming presence, doesn't get too high with the highs or low with the lows. That's what head coach Kevin Gilbride is hoping he's going to get from Luis Perez. He's going to get him points, get him into the end zone. With more on Luis Perez, here's New Jersey's own Diana Rossini.
Yeah, he's very even-keeled. He's a professional bowler, getting your first start here in the XFL. And you actually learned the game of football on YouTube. What can you learn from YouTube?
Well, you can learn a lot on YouTube, not just football. There's a lot of things you can actually learn on YouTube. But going back, you know, when I was a kid, I remember sitting in the mirror for hours and hours, and the first video I ever saw was I'd sit here and I'd have a mirror in front of me and I'd just go like this, and the video kept saying, make a C, not a U, as far as breaking your wrist, and that stuck with me ever since, and shoot, it's helped me.
All right, thanks, guys.
Former pro bowler, hoping to be a future pro bowler.
It makes sense. Well
Deeper
done.
into the NFL. 12 perfect games a guy has rolled. He's no turkey. As you look at some of the prop bets, and this is new, so on Luis Perez, Greg, does he throw an interception today or not? a half an interception.
Let's say no, just for Luis. Why not? The one I'm looking at right here, though, is Mikhail McKay. I think I like the over in that 31.5. That's a lot of points. That's not a lot of yards for the number 1 receiver and a new quarterback. Maybe they try to find McKay early in the game.
That's one play.
That's one, potentially, yes.
This has been the Progressive Countdown to Kickoff. And you will get a look at Luis Perez first. Again, there's no coin flip in the XFL. Home team has the choice. They want the ball. Matthew Colburn is back deep. You know Nick Novak, veteran of 10 years, kicking in the National Football League. 1-2 meets 1-2. It's coast to coast. Top 2 television markets in the country. LA and New York settle in for a fun afternoon of football. Here's Colburn from the 10. And he'll bring the football out to just beyond the 30. Luis Perez saw his first XFL game action last week against St. Louis. Came in late in the game, provided a bit of a spark, hit on 4 of his 5 pass attempts, 80 passing yards, and would throw the only touchdown pass for the Guardians in the game. The touchdown pass to Austin Duke ended a 26 consecutive Guardian possessions without scoring a touchdown. It's an incredibly awful streak. See if a full week as the guy have helped things out for Perez and company. On 1st down and 10 from their own 30-yard line. That's Colburn in motion. Handed off to the first man through. That's Tim Cook. 6 feet, 247-pound bowling ball.
Left, Y fly, West Salsa, Dallas. Gun half left, Y fly, West Salsa, Dallas.
Salsa, you good? Here we go, let's go. Hey, Dallas. Sit. Come on. Ready, hot.
Tim Cook. Stopped by Cedric Reed as we look at some of the impact players so far.
And a big thing for New York, they got to get the running game going a little bit. So both their backs, both Tim Cook and Darius Victor, they got to find a way to get those guys moving north and south. Ineffective here in these first 2 plays. And defensively for LA, Trey Williams, former Auburn Tiger, and Jack Tocho, who played corner at NC State but has now slid inside to safety. He'll be tasked with covering these slot receivers at times for this Guardian team. So Tocho's had a really good start to the year for LA.
3rd down has been horrendous. 13% for New York on the season. Here's Perez in all sorts of trouble, and he is thrown down to the turf by Devin Taylor for the sack, and it's a quick 3 and out by New York.
Really nice game, too. You're going to see movement to the left and swoop right around inside. Very athletic and able to get home as Perez doesn't have a chance. Only rushing 4 and still being able to provide a sack that quickly. Problems up front in the trenches for New York showing themselves early.
Justin Vogel back to punt. Kermit Whitfield standing at the Los Angeles 35. Got it away. Short punt. Whitfield running up to make the fair catch. And Los Angeles will start at the 39-yard line. You mentioned Josh Johnson. Can we say he's been around the block? The ultimate journeyman was a 5th-round pick out of San Diego by John Gruden and the Buccaneers in 2008. Since then, he's been on 13 teams in 12 seasons. That's like almost an entire conference in the NFL. That's hard to do. And then last week, got his first win in the XFL. He was terrific. Bottom line, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, in a 30-point victory over what we thought were the mighty DC defenders. On 1st down, here's Larry Rose, the ball carrier. Legendary Norm Chow is the offensive coordinator.
Train left, Y off, 14 gobble. Train left, Y off, 14 gobble.
You'll hear these 2 offensive coordinators throughout the day. Very different terminology. Norm Chow, a legend, though, and done a pretty good job getting on the same page with his veteran quarterback.
Again, it's Larry Rose right back to the line of scrimmage. Frank Ginda, the stop, 3rd and 6. We asked Norm Chow, why do you need this? Why do you want to come back in a startup league? He goes, well, the facility's only 20 minutes from my house.
Right down the road as he resides in Manhattan Beach. Who wouldn't want to live there? But he said, I just can't seem to get away from football. I'm all in. I love it. It's been a blast coaching these guys that are very hungry to extend their careers.
Looks great, too. Real privilege to meet that man yesterday. Here's 3rd and 6. New York rushing 4. Johnson trying to escape, and he'll be sacked. Savon Walker, the sack for the Guardians. So both teams go 3 and out, finishing with a sack.
Man, that's just getting walked right back into your quarterback's lap. If you look at the right guard, I mean, he just speed to power right inside, and a good job, too. Sometimes when you're rushing a quarterback that's mobile, it's been real easy for Josh Johnson. Almost slipped right through there and create some space with his legs, but good job there, dragging him down after he converted speed to power in the rush.
Shane Trapuka, the punter. Austin Duke from the 15. Had a little seam up the middle, then it closed up quickly out to the 29-yard line. Welcome everyone watching on ABC across America. This is week 4 of the XFL. It's Los Angeles and New York. And on first down and 10, Joe Horn, the wide receiver, set up the screen for him. And he has first down yardage out to the 45-yard line. They say you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one. Well, the New York Guardians played 3 quarterbacks a week ago. It's been a bit of a mess. Luis Perez is the guy starting today.
And he's a very talented thrower. Texas A&M Commerce late to the party at the quarterback spot. Only started playing in college. Didn't play in high school. Was a professional bowler and has 12 perfect games. Pretty amazing, the story, and hearing just how he's kind of progressed as a player. But very gifted and natural thrower. And has better instincts than you think for a guy that hasn't been playing that long.
Each team went 3 and out on their first possession. Second possession for New York. Here's Darius Victor for a couple, sent flying back by Harlan Miller. The Wildcats played last week without their top 2 cornerbacks, Harlan Miller and Jalen Dunlap. Good to see them both back. Imagine that. They're without their top 2 corners a week ago, and they still pick off Cardale Jones 4 times.
That's not good. Not a good day for Cardale last week. But it was a very opportunistic job by this LA defense. They run mostly zone, won't be in a ton of man. So expect these corners and these defenders to have their eyes in the backfield trying to get their hands on passes often throughout this game.
Good protection for Perez. Short pass. Colby Pearson went up to get it. It's going to bring up third down.
All right, here we go. Here we go. 3 wides. 3 wides. Let's go. Gun trips left. Y fly. East Clemens. Gun trips left. Y fly. East Clemens.
Here we go.
Expect a run here. East usually means to the right.
Bit of a high snap. Pitch by Victor. He bobbled it momentarily. Able to get the first down. As the snow starts to fall, we got some flurries here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. I did not see that in the forecast.
I can't see the snow that you're referring to, so. Oh, there is. There are a couple. I'm not doubting you. I'm not doubting you.
Come on, man. We'll take it out of weather. More sports, take it out of weather. Storm Field used to hate that. On first down and 10, across midfield. Darius Victor. Slammed into by Ahmad Dixon, but a pretty good gain there.
All right, let's go. 3 wides. 3 wides. Let's go. Gun 1 slot wide. Gun 1 slot wide. West gas. Alert. Zorro.
All right, Marquise Williams, what are we looking for here? What should Luis be seeing?
So right now we did a alert call. So if it's too high, we want to keep the west gas on and run it to the left. If it's 1 high up that road, we want to go away from the rotation.
Good stuff, man. Thank you.
Marquise Williams is the backup quarterback. We'll definitely see him in action today. No Matt McGloin. He's out with what is believed to be a rib injury. Will not play today. Here's Victor. Good second effort. We'll see where they spot him on 2nd and 6. He's very close to the first down. They're going to give it. I think they're going to move the chains, and they are. A couple of first downs on this second possession by New York.
I like the plan, too, just trying to establish the line of scrimmage, take the pressure off your quarterback, making his first start. And clearly trying to work him into the game plan, but leaning heavily on that big offensive line of those powerful running backs.
Perez all sorts of time, gets it out to Victor. Harlan Miller, the tackle again from the cornerback spot.
Gun trips left. West Zorro rim X slide. West Zorro rim X slide.
West over rim. West over rim. West over rim. Hey, Togu. Hey, 4 down, line 57. Here we go. Oh, yeah, right there, man. Hey. Ready, hot.
Back to the ground game, and Darius Victor. Will Smith the stop. Third down.
That's it. We got 3 wides. 3 wides.
Flex.
Let's go gun trips
Flex,
left.
2 latch. Flex, 2 latch.
Let's go gun
Flex,
trips
2
left.
latch.
63 double chip Z sail.
Hey, 63. Hey, double chip. Here we go. Hey.
Winston Moss, the LA head coach, also took over the defensive coordinator duties.
All right, here we go. Let's go.
Calling the D. Third down and 10.
Ready, hot.
Perez throwing over Joe Horn's head and nearly intercepted. Mike Stevens in the neighborhood along with Arian Springs. Stevens had a couple interceptions a week ago.
Man, that was a pretty well
stopped, did he?
that was a pretty well thrown ball right there. You hear Gilbride saying, "I don't think he stopped." Well, he did. It looked like the receiver thought he was throwing somewhere else, stopped his route. It should have been a completion. He would have just continued on to the sideline.
Here's Matthew McCrane. Played his college ball at Kansas State. Going to attempt a 51-yard field goal. Career long of 54, so he's done this before. To put New York on the scoreboard first. On the way and good. Second possession for New York leads to points. The Guardians, a touchdown underdog, take a 3-0 lead. Failure on third down, have to settle for the field goal from long range. Things around after just one game last week, but what a game. 39 points, that's the most points scored in a game by any team in the XFL. Struggled first couple of weeks and looking for their first points here in week 4. Second possession upcoming for Josh Johnson and the Los Angeles offense. Off the 51-yard field goal from Matthew McCrane. He's got the ball on a tee. 92% of all kickoffs in the XFL have been returned so far this season. That is a real talking point. For comparison's sake, just 34% kickoffs were returned in the NFL this past season. Here's Whitfield up the sideline. We'll start out about the 32-yard line. Josh Johnson, the ultimate journeyman. 5th-round pick by John Gruden of the Bucs in 2008. He says that's still the career highlight for him in the NFL. And since then, what's his closet look like? He practically played for an entire conference already. 13 teams in 12 seasons. And then last week, looked strong, 18 of 25, 278 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a 30-point win over the previously unbeaten DC Defenders.
Ready. To go.
Larry Rose into the pile, maybe a yard. Diana.
Yeah, John Gruden drafted him, but he played with Jay Gruden when he was the head coach of the Washington Redskins. And I spoke to Jay today, and he said Josh came in on a Monday, started for us on Sunday. He's a quick learner. He won the game. And guess how he learned the players on that Washington Redskins team? Playing Madden. He said he was impressive, and the guys like him, guys.
I love it. I love it.
33-year-old Josh Johnson, cool and calm, steps up and throws, able to complete to his tight end, Brandon Barnes. Ginda the stop.
Tiger, tiger, tiger. Ace-right switch, 62 smash. Just get us a first down, Josh.
Norm Chow's been doing this since 1970. A legend in the industry.
That's translation for take what the defense gives you, Josh.
Exactly. Throw it to the hitch to the top of the screen, Josh.
Yep.
I think that's what he means, but against man coverage right here across the board, you might get a chance to hit one of the corners being run by the slot players.
3rd and 2. Going to take a deep shot. Falling down and making the grab, Jordan Smallwood. On a 3rd and 2, they pick up 26.
Yeah, this is a really nice throw. A little bit late, a little bit behind, but you get a chance trying to hit your tight end working against a linebacker in coverage. You got to take advantage of that. He drops it in the bucket. That man coverage look, when you hear smash, very common concept. Corner routes by the slot players, hitches by the outside. When you have press man across the board, deep man wins. Beautiful conversion there on third down.
Off the play fake to Hood. Johnson to throw again. And complete. It's Smallwood again. So we tick under 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. This was the money line coming into action today. You have to pay a pretty good price if you think LA is just going to win the game without giving the 7 points and the touchdown.
And you think about the teams so far in the first few weeks of the XFL, 0-3 against the spread and outright when traveling across country. So LA operating against the trend.
Toby Johnson looked like he jumped the nose tackle.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 95, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Referee is James Carter. Penalties a real problem a week ago for New York.
That's on D. Hey, hey, how you gonna treat?
First and 5 from the 10 of New York. On the ground, a Hood. He'll be very close to picking up the first down. It's called 2nd and 1. Ben Heaney made the stop.
Near right, 22. Near right, 22.
Hey, 22, on the yellow.
Here on the yellow, that means he's probably going to go with a hard count again. Yellow, meaning think about a stoplight. Red is stop, green is go. Yellow is usually trying to get a fake count.
Makes sense. Oh, running right into the pile is Larry Rose.
Okay, here we go.
The New York defense stiffens there. Joey Mbu.
Great job there at the line of scrimmage. Just playing big, working inside against Siragusa, and making a nice play behind the line of scrimmage.
That's 700 pounds there, guys, tackle to tackle for New York along this front.
You got some big defensive tackles down there in Guardians jerseys. You said 700. That's being generous, Lugs.
Yeah.
3rd down and 3 from the 8. Pressure. Picked up nicely and completed. Shy of the marker, though. Daquan Hampton makes the catch. Andrew Soro with an excellent solo tackle to keep him from the line to gain. So it's 4th down.
Go.
Quarterback sneak with Johnson, and he got it. And the gamble pays off there for the Wildcats.
I like the use of the hard count there, too. See if you can't pick it up. Cheap one. It's a good decision by Winston Moss.
Hey, Winston Moss is all business, isn't he? When you sit down and talk to him?
Man, he is just staring at. I didn't want to say anything to him. I was scared he might just jump right over the table and fight me. He is intense, man. I love it. Really loves having this opportunity to lead his own program and organization.
Greg, I got him to smile in pregame warm-up twice.
Oh, well done, Luke.
Yeah.
What'd you do, give him cash? 1st down and goal. On the ground, a Larry Rose. Not much happening there. That time it's T.J. Barnes who filled the hole for New York. Greg actually had the nerve to ask Winston Moss about what happened with the Pepper Johnson situation. And that's how the meeting started. He wanted nothing to do with that answer. He said that's ancient history. And again, Pepper Johnson, the defensive coordinator. Winston Moss fired him after 1 game, after the opening game, after the defense gave up 37 points. Of course, Pepper would have loved coming back here to coach former great New York football giant. 2nd down and goal from the 4. 10th play of the drive. Johnson zips it in there, wide open, touchdown. Trey McBride who had 2 touchdown catches a week ago, cashes in here with 3 seconds left in the first quarter. Can't do any better than that for Josh Johnson.
Beautiful throw.
Hey, 388, 388, on one.
They're going to go from the 5 and go for the 2-point conversion. And I think that is the trend, that is the analytic in this young XFL season, that to go for 2 from the 5 is the correct play. Johnson to throw for it. And it's knocked away. Excellent defensive play. Drayvon Askew-Henry got a hand in the way on Jordan Smallwood, and that'll keep it at 6-3 LA.
After starting the game with a 3-and-out, Josh Johnson's found a rhythm. A beautiful throw on the slant, negotiating the defender, and giving the Wildcats the lead.
ABC's presentation of the XFL is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com.
Would it be overstating it to call this the house that McElroy built, do you think?
Very sneaky by you guys. I did not know that was in the billboards. Well
Saw his first NFL action December 2012 against the Cardinals. Came off the bench, led the Jets to a fourth quarter touchdown drive to win 42-41. Wow, no, actually the game was 7-6. Really?
Come on, man.
Really? Off the bench to win 7-6?
It's a fourth quarter comeback. W.
That counts?
You got to count it, man. Come on.
Quit score shaming him.
Yeah, Levy.
Steve.
7-6.
It's a Rex Ryan special. It's a favorite game he was ever a part of.
Sorry I missed that one. Here's Colburn now for New York, trailing 6-3. Out to the 35-yard line. And that will serve as the final play of quarter number 1. LA Wildcats off a huge win a week ago, 39-9. I think they've turned their season around. New York Guardians trying to do that same thing. Back in Gotham with Greg McElroy, Tom Luganbill, Diana Rossini. I'm Steve Levy, and see the updated lines. New York started as a touchdown underdog. They just tacked on a hook based on the 6-3 score. The Guardians came in last in the XFL in yards and points, and that explains the low total, which hasn't changed much from the opening line, but now down to 39 points.
I like the over. I feel like these offenses are bound to get going. Quarterback change for New York, running the ball with a little bit more effectiveness, and LA defensively has not been great throughout the first 3 games.
Third possession for Luis Perez. Really ran into his center there. Here's Perez scrambling, throwing on the run, able to complete to E.J. Bibbs, the tight end, and he's got first down yardage. That was a messy play from the start. Gain of 12. Bibbs lined up in a fullback spot, and you saw Ian Silberman, the center, collide with Perez.
Yeah, I mean, Silberman had his rollerblades on. I mean, he got stepped on Perez. Perez somehow finding a way to buy a little more time. Silberman, a little extracurricular there.
How about the push on Roderick Henderson, and then the push back by Silberman. On the ground, here's Tim Cook.
Silberman's not afraid to stir it up a little bit. Yeah, he got into some trouble last week. Got to keep his cool. We'll keep an eye on the Guardian center, though. He's been one of the more entertaining players here these first few weeks, especially with some of the after-the-whistle antics, if you will.
He's wearing the ESPN ABC microphone today. 2nd down and 6. Trying to run behind the center again with Tim Cook. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Mentioned all the penalties last week. 12 penalties, 9 enforced. A pre or post snap against the New York Guardians. and Silberman was in the middle of it all. And here, you see Silberman trying to push back.
So just beware. They're ready to throw you out.
Gilbride was saying he was defending his teammates. He's trying to defend their huddle as well. They were huddling a little too close to the line of scrimmage, but that Silberman actually apologized to his teammates this week. He was embarrassed by his performance before and after the whistle, and looks to settle down. Here's Cook out of the backfield for the first down. But they love his nastiness, they love his leadership and ownership of that offensive line.
Yeah, you kind of like a guy like that along the offensive line. You know, it's not that you ever encourage dirty play, but you don't want a guy that's willing to get pushed around. I want a guy that's going to fight for me, and he's certainly shown that.
He's going to fight.
He'll fight now.
Pick up 8 on 3rd and 7. Every conversion for New York on 3rd down is a big deal. They came in at just 13%, by far the worst in the XFL. Quick toss to Joe Horn. A flag comes in as Horn is forced out at about the 30. Looked like Mikhail McKay was trying to block for his fellow wide receiver. Let's see if it was too good a block.
Previous spot. Okay, previous spot. Holding. Offense, number 1. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains first down.
And that is McKay. The hold on Harlan Miller.
Well, guys, I was talking with J.A. Mangus down here, the offensive coordinator. He said that's one of the things that's killed them is pre-snap and post-snap penalties following a play where they've had a lot of success. They got a chance to get momentum. You take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And those are the plays they've got to eliminate.
G.A. said this week he's never seen more 3rd and long situations. 10-plus yards just about every single time. So here it's 1st and 20. Themselves behind the sticks to start now. Trying to get the screen. It's batted up in the air and hits the turf. Devin Taylor got a big hand on it.
3 max stay. Flex. 3 max stay. Flex. 3 max stay. Disguise it up. Disguise it up. Disguise it up.
Hold on. Hey, yeah, go fly down. Hey, no, hey. Fly down, here we go.
Still plenty of time on the play clock.
Here we go. Hey. Ready, hut.
LA just rushing 4. Perez cocks and fires, and it's caught. Jake Powell for the first down. They pick up on 2nd and 20. 22 yards. Perez to Powell.
That's a beautiful throw. If you watch Powell on the right side, as he starts to escape and gets vertical, you're going to see Powell find an opportunity over that linebacker, number 57, Will Smith, and underneath the safety. That's a nice layered throw by Perez, getting it up and around a defender in front of the other and holding up his receiver in the process. Excellent job by the quarterback.
Good drive here by New York. Back to the ground game, and Tim Cook lowers the shoulder. He'll pick up a few. Quentin Gauze made the stop, threw down the towel.
Let's go gun 7 spread. Gun 7 spread. 83 Circus. Oh, you should be good at this.
When you hear Circus, probably going to see corner routes by the outside receivers, deep out routes, and then a guy working the middle of the field. Let's see if he reads that left side safety.
Perez throwing. Tio Redding's in the game, makes his first catch. Working on Tocho there. Gain of 20.
This is a beautiful job of taking advantage of the zone. You're going to see that circus route. It's a big, deep out route. You see the 2 safeties over the top. There's a flat defender that's being held by the running back into the flat. And as a result, you can throw it over the top in the weak spot and cover 2. Really nice throw and good execution against that defensive look.
At the Los Angeles 12. Rather, beg your pardon, the 7. First down and goal. Good protection. Perez lofts it up off the fingertips of Powell and nearly intercepted. 2nd and goal.
Flex Tampa.
Gun trips left, 63 book. Gun trips left, 63 book. Book.
When you hear book, you think
X
read.
fade.
You think read, but he just tagged an X fade, so you might have an opportunity to work the fade right here at the bottom.
2nd and goal. Underneath, it's Austin Duke. Down to the 5. Taiwan Jones, the tackle.
Good option route there by Duke to get half of it back.
All right, here we go. Detroit.
Marquise Williams checking in. We knew he would at some point, and that point is 3rd down and goal.
Guys, Perez is on the field to the top of your screen, and LA right now doesn't know it.
Perez standing there all by himself.
Yeah, you might be able to
They
steal
ought to go
one.
fast here.
No one on Perez. He's up at the top, uncovered.
They just figured it out now. And here's Marquise Williams. Rolling to his right, going to keep it and not even get back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, that was there if they wanted it. And New York could not react quick enough and snap that football.
I think Williams' snap was a little late. Play is a little discombobulated from the start. See him starting that roll to his right. Makes sense down there to get the more mobile option in at quarterback. Just one more thing for the defense to account for. He had a guy in the back of the end zone, just wouldn't pull the trigger, and they'll have to settle for 3 yet again.
That was kind of sneaky, too. Perez was jogging off like he was running to the sideline. Stayed in the field of play. 23-yard field goal attempt from the angle is through. Matthew McCrane hit from 51, hits from 23, and a flag comes down.
Personal foul number 97.
Yeah. So do they want to take it on the? Do they want to take it on the kickoff? Well, you have to take it on the kickoff. Yeah. All right. The try is good. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness of the defense, number 97. 15 yards will be enforced on the kickoff. Timeout.
That's Reggie Howard. The nose tackle, significant. That came after the kick. Because if it came before the kick, it would have been an automatic first down. Getting into it, Sean Kling. Cheektowaga fame. Back at MetLife in East Rutherford, New Jersey, in a 6-6 game. After the field goal attempt that was made, there was a personal foul, a 15-yard penalty against Reggie Howard for the LA Wildcats. No one has seen this before, how you handle the new kickoff. In the XFL, the kicker stands all by himself and kicks from the 30-yard line, and now we're being told they'll kick from the 45.
But this doesn't really help.
Right.
This isn't really a penalty, though. That's the only problem that I have with this. There's really no penalty here because it actually benefits you if there's a touchback because the starting field position is the 35-yard line. So it's actually harder on the kicker. You have less space to work with.
There was some talk there. It might do an onside kick, which is not a surprise in the XFL. You have to declare in advance you're going for the onside kick. But that will not be the case here in this formation. So kicking from the 45, a little short pooch kick. It's picked up, and after 3 seconds, after it hits the ground, you can go. And going is Kermit Whitfield. And a flag comes in, does not get back to the 30-yard line. Maybe that's a little loophole in the rule book that we've yet to see in this young XFL season. I keep saying young XFL season. Next week's the midway point of the regular season.
No, but he went backwards instead of forwards. Okay, all right. 32. Illegal formation. Receiving team, number 32. Left the line early. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's Ladarius Wiley. for Los Angeles. Tom.
Yeah, Steve, here with Luis Perez. You came off the sideline. Coach Gilbride and Coach Mangus wanted to discuss some strategy. What was the message?
Yeah, no, down the goal line, I had a guy open. I should have came off my first progression a little bit sooner. Thought I can rip it in there, but yeah, I should have moved on to the next progression.
How about when you're standing there uncovered down there by the goal line? Was there an option for them to throw it to you?
Yeah, if they didn't cover me, that's the only option.
All right, man, good job.
Appreciate it.
First down and 10 from the 25-yard line after the latest penalty.
Motion, switch back. Ready. You got it.
That's Blacknall in motion, bottom of your screen. And on the ground to DeJuan Harris. Change of direction. He's out beyond the 30-yard line. So there's got to be some kind of deterrent in the rule book for a personal foul after a kick like that.
We're learning on the fly here. I think the best way of handling that would be to actually, from the end of the return, then you tack on the 15 yards, so it wouldn't be applied on the kick. So we're flushing these things out. Look, this kickoff rule is a smash hit. No denying that, but there are some things that we're still trying to figure out as far as best practice.
Again, 92% of all kicks have been returned so far in the XFL. Steve Stribling joins us now. He is the officiating supervisor. Steve, can you just tell us about that and the thinking behind that rule, the personal foul after the kick, and how that really impacts the team that was penalized?
Right. So in XFL football, where if a foul is after the score, after an extra point, they have the option of tacking on the kickoff. So in that case, the kicking team moves up 15 yards, and they have to make that decision. If they kick it deep, none of the receiving lines change, or they can try to declare an onside kick, which they had thought about, and then decided to go against.
But is that really a deterrent? Does that impact the penalized team as much as it should for a personal foul?
Maybe not as much as it should, but you can see the strategy then of the kickoff is to try to place it in a corner and get that 3 second, because after 3 seconds, if that ball's on the ground, then we can all go and everybody has an opportunity to make a play.
Thank you, Steve.
We're good. Hey, woo! Woo, good shit, boy.
NBA fans will know the name Kelly Tripucka, big-time player for the Detroit Pistons, 10 years in the NBA. That's Shane, his nephew, the punter for LA, Austin Duke, back at the 30. Takes a shot and goes down. New York football. They'll have first and 10 at the 37. In a tie game, 6-6. And that under is looking delicious with 5:59 to play here in the first half. Jarrell Owens picking up the sack. Later this afternoon over on Fox, Battlehawks will use that St. Louis home crowd playing at the Dome to their benefit. The Seattle Dragons are in town, and then tomorrow it's the crown jewel of this weekend, week 4 in the XFL, the Texas Throwdown between the Roughnecks and the Renegades, Houston and Dallas. And then the night game. Not sure we've had a night game yet in the XFL. 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2 from Tampa. The Vipers still in search of their first victory. DC looking to bounce back after they were hammered in Los Angeles against these Wildcats. Luis Perez out of the gun. Steps up and throws and completes to Mikhail McKay. Is going to be just short of the marker, bring a second and short.
I tell you, Greg, he sure is accurate, man. I mean, he is poised and the ball is on point.
Yeah, he is really poised. Looks like a pro quarterback. He just stands in the pocket tall, moves well. This is not a guy that's played a ton of football, too. His best football is probably in front of him.
On the ground of Darius Victor. He's got first down yardage.
76 Hopper. Zero flood, 76 Hopper.
You hear 76. That's a 7-man protection. 7. So you got to think the tight end and the running back will be involved in this protection. Usually means they think it's going to be some type of pressure package, but it's not looking that way from LA.
Thrown underneath, juggled and dropped by Darius Victor. Perez's accuracy, and he's spreading it around as well. 8 completions to 8 different receivers. And there you see the numbers. Again, they used all 3 quarterbacks a week ago. And we're not sure when Matt McGloin will be healthy enough to get his job back, if he will get his job back. Some of that will have to do with how well Luis Perez plays here today.
So far, so good, though, from him. Just got to be a little more efficient. Things happen faster in the red zone, so when they get down there in a condensed part of the field, he's got to make quicker decisions. Other than that, though, it's been pretty dang good between the 20s.
Perez 8 of 12 so far today. Here's Colbert. Stopped by Will Smith. Even though New York got crushed a week ago, they actually outgained St. Louis in yardage, 307 to 273. They lost the game 29-9. So they were able to move the football. Penalties just killed them. Only been a handful of penalties on them today so far. 3rd and 4. Perez completes to Colby Pearson for the first down.
Great job taking advantage of leverage there, and a nice call from G.A. Mangus. East dash right there from Luis Perez. You got to think east, something to the right. And likely just going to be some type of run play to the right side.
Draw. Victor. Still on his feet. All the way down to the 31.
Half left. Gun half left. East salsa, W slide.
Timeout. Defense.
Winston Moss takes a timeout.
I felt like I was moving pretty good right there. I mean, maybe not quite to Henry Ruggs, who ran 4.28 earlier this week.
Just shy.
He might have just barely. He could have run backwards and might have been a closer range.
Listen, let's give you the real props on the Wonderlic score. You had a 48 out of 50. That is tied for the 3rd best ever. So you're smart. We know that.
Yes.
So what happened? What else happened?
We'll just stop at that. It was just that's all I had. Once I had the Wonderlic, I nailed it in.
Got it. Here's Victor, able to get the first down. Quickly here, give me a Wonderlic question. People at home, they've heard of the Wonderlic test.
Okay.
Give us an example of a Wonderlic question.
All right, 0.7, 0.07, 7.0, and 70. Which is the smallest number? That's how it is. So it's not hard questions.
Right.
You got to be able to diagnose and process really quickly and have be able to notice details. That's really
Is there a time limit?
Yes.
Okay.
It's 12 minutes, and you have 50 questions. So it's about 16 seconds a question.
What 2 questions did you miss?
I just couldn't get my agent said don't get a 50 whatever you do. So throw a couple away. You don't want them to think you're too smart. You can't be coached.
Jake Powell, that's such like an agent to say that too. First down to Jake Powell, the tight end. Impressive New York Guardians drive, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. My buddy to my right, he's wicked smart. 6-6 of the 2-minute warning. Tune in tonight, NBA Saturday primetime. The Rockets go to Beantown to face the Boston Celtics. Coverage tips the jump at 8 Eastern on ABC. You can always watch both on the ESPN app from anywhere.
Damn it!
James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Jason Tatum. What a road trip he had for the Celtics. Guy doesn't miss.
He's been unbelievable.
That'll be a dandy tonight. As we open up out of the 2-minute warning to the tight end, E.J. Bibbs, inside the 10, staying on his feet and rumbling down inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line.
And have a day, big fella. I mean, I love it.
6'3", 260 out of Iowa State.
I mean, all I could hear that entire time, all I could hear was Chris Berman. Boom, 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 rumbling, stumbling. That's all I could hear. I mean, I was playing it in my head as the large fella is making some guys miss.
E.J. Bibbs made one career NFL catch with the Browns for 7 yards, Week 13 against the Bengals in 2015. Back in an NFL stadium here. First down and goal for New York. 3 tight ends. And Perez to throw for it. It's caught. Touchdown. McKay working over Harlan Miller for the New York touchdown. And the Guardians jump back on top.
That was a great throw. I mean, there's a presence right in his lap. He had to buy just a little bit more time, but just enough time to recognize that he had an opportunity for the back shoulder. Great throw from Perez, and McKay using that 6'6" frame. Long arms going up. He's got to be a weapon in the red zone. He became one right there. Excellent job there by the Guardians.
Marquise Williams comes in now for the conversion. New York just 2 of 4 on the season on conversions coming into this one. Well, that's 50%. That's great. They haven't scored a lot of touchdowns. That's the problem. And they're lined up from the 2 to go for 1 point. You do have to declare in advance.
No, the fucking fine.
And I wonder, once you put the ball down, maybe you can't change your decision. And the officials heard from the 2.
Seconds.
Timeout. New York. First charge timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
2 timeouts per half per team. Sounds like some miscommunication there, that New York wanted to go for the 2 points from the 5. And the officials heard 1 point from the 2. Diana. I think they're still talking about it, Diana.
3-4.
Good.
Now we're trying to understand. Again, it appears to be obvious miscommunication between the team and the officials. But you would think before the ball is snapped, why couldn't you change your mind? They put the ball down. You haven't snapped it. Clock hasn't moved.
A 2-point try from the 5-yard line.
I could see where that would be confusing, though. You say you want to go for 2. They hear
right.
2.
2-yard line.
2-yard line,
right.
2 points. I can see where that would be a little bit tricky, but the players should have corrected it faster than anything.
And they have now. So maybe common sense prevailed. They'll move it back to the 5 for 2 points. This is an untimed conversion. Williams wants to run for it and gets there. Designed quarterback draw for the 2 points and a 14-6 New York lead.
It was a nice alert from Williams. He saw those 2 safeties in a favorable quarterback draw look, and he does the rest. Big collision at the goal line, but he makes it happen. Excellent job with his number getting called there.
That's definitely the trend. Go for 2 instead of just 1. Diana.
So the Wildcats load the box there. You make a great adjustment. What did you see?
Yeah, so we had a run call, then they loaded the box, so we were a man short on offense, so I'll give him a kill, go right, and he made a great play.
Right there, just seeing your guys go in there, scored.
Absolutely, Marquise did a great job, made the right read, got in, and got his points.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
What a difference today, Diana. New York had 1 10-play drive in the first 3 games combined. Here today, they've had 3 drives of 10 plays or more. All 3 of the last one with Luis Perez. Sort of gotten some momentum, got things cooking here on offense.
Yeah, he's in a nice rhythm and has been very accurate, made good decisions so far. And is starting to feel his way into this game. And if you look at New York, too, I mean, this is a team that has really struggled when they've gotten into the red zone. Right there, that was enormous for them to be able to find something to their number 1 wide receiver, McKay, and find him in an isolation. That's an advantage for them that they need to continue to take advantage of.
Still 1:27 left. Los Angeles has a timeout. Kermit Whitfield from the 3. up the middle. He'll get out to the 25-yard line. New York scored just 9 points combined in the previous 2 games with their starting quarterback, Matt McGloin, in there. It's been a stormy start to the XFL season for McGloin, really a rock and roller coaster.
You go right down the field and score. It's just fun, as I had playing the game of football a long time.
McGloin intercepted.
Hands down, worst game I've ever been a part of.
McGloin flush from the pocket and driven down at the 50. Matt McGloin has yet to return to the field, we're told.
And Matt McGloin is a spectator today. Josh Johnson loads and fires. It is caught by Brandon Barnes. McGloin is in the stadium today. Don't believe he's on the sideline. And he's banged up, but some of that's probably based on performance. There's Matt McGloin. We got a lot of cameras. We got a lot of people. We can find you if we want to. Johnson completing to Trey McBride, who has the 1 touchdown catch for Los Angeles, gain of 18 there.
Steve, Greg, you guys talked about the steady hand of Luis Perez and this New York offense and their sustained success. But LA, when was the last time we even saw them on offense? I feel like they're sitting there, their coaches are on the sideline, they're antsy, and they haven't had a chance to score the football because they haven't had any time on offense.
They haven't had very many possessions, only 18 snaps, 9 passes, 9 rushes so far here in the first half.
Bit of an issue with the snap there from Johnson. Flag comes in. Completes to Adonis Jennings. See if there was a push-off or not. Yeah, this is the 4th possession for Los Angeles of the half.
22.
And 2 of the 3 possessions were 3 and outs.
They
haven't had the football.
Automatic first down. Holding. Defense, number 22. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Empty right, 50 Frisco's. G. Reed slice.
50. Take a left, take a left. Take a left. Take a left.
The 3 guys ready to go back in.
Red.
42 years of coaching offense.
We're going.
5 receivers in there. Josh Johnson today is 7 of 7. He hasn't missed yet, but again, he hasn't had the football a lot. Final minute of the half. Throwing as he's hit. Jarrell Owens ran him down. It goes incomplete.
What did they play that last one? What did they play? 3-3-3. 3-3-3. Train right, 62 49er dogs. Why Hank
Rush
spot?
Houston.
Why
Rush
Hank spot?
Houston. Rush Houston. Watch 3 over now. 88's in the game.
Hey, go 5-6, go 5-6. Yeah, 56. We're going. 3 flat.
88's Daquan Hampton.
Hey, watch the screen. Take out.
New York just rushing 4. Johnson. So 2 incompletions in a row over the head. Sailed it on Jordan Smallwood. 53 ticks left in the half.
Right, go. 62. Train right, 62. No, let's go to do right. 62.
Mug
Utah,
Waco. Mug
Pumas
Waco.
cross.
Got to show it now.
Pumas
Mug
cross.
Waco. Get out and get in your drops.
Hey. 5-6.
The sun starts to peek out a little bit here in New Jersey.
We're going. Ready. Max protect. To go.
Ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage. The big fella, Toby Johnson. Played his college ball at Georgia. And LA will punt it away.
And a good job this time, getting your hands up. Not a lot going there offensively for LA. They had it moving those first couple snaps of that drive. Came to a standstill as soon as they crossed the 50. Nice job by New York's defense, holding steady and covering downfield.
Shane Trapuka punted away from his own 47. Austin Duke signals for the fair catch back at the 10-yard line. So Luis Perez back on the field, chance to do some more offensive damage. Talked about being a Pro Bowler one day. He's a different kind of professional bowler back in the day. Said he started bowling when he was 10 years old. And he can do this.
pretty impressive, right?
That's confidence, too.
That's pretty impressive.
He knew he had it all the way. He said when he was playing football on the freshman JV team, he had to leave practice early so he wouldn't be late for bowling practice, right? What football player would say that? He sort of fell out of love with the sport. They moved him to the wide receiver position. He didn't play again in high school. Trying to set up the draw, get something going with Darius Victor still on his feet. Out to the 20-yard line. Clock stops for now. 35 seconds left.
Yeah, I like the draw play, backed up. Hey, maybe you squeak one, you get a nice play, a nice chunk, then you go into a 2-minute operation. A nice job by Victor there, being physical and rolling out of that initial contact.
Matthew McCrane already has a 51-yard field goal here today, so he's showing the range. It's Victor again, lowers the helmet, and is a flag down.
Number 77 bringing it back. Holding. Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Damian Mama. Diana.
Guys, we could talk all game about Luis Perez's story. And, you know, when he started to find his love for the game, he checked it all out on YouTube. He watched Tom Brady talk about what it takes to be a winner. He says he never forgets it. And he also wears the same underwear for every game because he's very superstitious.
Greg?
I would say that's just a little stitious. That isn't too bad.
It's not superstitious. He's under center, 1st and 20 with 22 seconds left. He'll take a knee. The clock still stops in this situation. Now they're going to run it. And that will conclude our first half here today. Impressive start for Luis Perez. He was 8th on the depth chart of 9 quarterbacks in junior college, 3rd on the depth chart for the New York Guardians, and here he is starting today and has a 14-6 lead for New York at the half. The Wildcats will get the second half kickoff. Trying to put something together off their impressive win a week ago, a win by 30 against DC. They find themselves in a bit of trouble at halftime here in New Jersey.
He's all in. And honestly, the team reflects that too. I mean, maybe a little adversity, no problem. Maybe not playing their best, but they find a way to continue to fight. Would expect nothing less from them here in the second half to make this game very interesting.
And again, it's not like Los Angeles is getting crushed here.
Right.
It's 14-6. It's a one possession game. Even in the NFL, it's a one-score game. And there you see Winston Moss getting his team ready. Los Angeles will get the football to start the second half. But while we have a moment, our ESPN and ABC family lost one of our own, Maura Mant, who worked on the ESPY Awards for more than 2 decades, eventually became the show's executive producer. Well, she died unexpectedly yesterday, and all of us are mourning her passing. We send our deepest sympathy and condolences to Brother Michael and her entire family and all her friends. I got a chance to work a little bit with Maura. Certainly saw her around the office in Bristol many years ago. She was smart. She was fierce. She was a leader. She was everything you would want in a producer and an executive producer. And we are all feeling that pain today. So again, our thoughts and prayers to all the many colleagues and loved ones, friends and family of Maura Mant. We're thinking about you.
We got to do more. We got to do more. Everybody got to do a little more.
In second down with a little bit of 2. So we still had 10 snaps of 3 and then 6 snaps at a 2 high. But they did start to mix it in a little bit, just so you're aware of it. And third down was definitely 22. They came after us once with blitz 33. I'm not sure where that was. That was second and 7 plus, right? Okay, second 7+. Yeah.
That's awesome right there from Coach Gilbride, going through all the different coverages they saw in the first half, what they were situationally, and what they might be able to expect here in the second half.
Kermit Whitfield grew up loving the Muppets, as you might expect, with the nickname Kermit, and a big special team stop. Demetrius Cox sends him flying, and rough starting field position for LA. Here's Norm Chow just moments ago, the offensive coordinator.
Come on now, we can't let this one get away from us, all right, babe? This is what makes you. This is what's going to make us. Don't let this one get away from us.
And LA will start out with their worst starting field position of the game. Back at their own 14-yard line.
Half. We're going. Ready to go.
Johnson to throw. And complete. Hit Trey McBride coming out of his break perfectly. Came into the game. You see the line at the kickoff is always on your screen. LA a 7-point favorite. And now in the second half, the updated line from our friends at Caesars has Los Angeles getting points, getting a field goal. How quickly it can change.
I'm telling you, man. It's amazing. And New York has been the better team today, so obviously the line clearly reflecting that.
Ready to go.
Looking again for McBride. Drayvon Askew Henry.
Flop left, 63. Scissors boy. Don't get greedy, just take what they give us. Flop left, 3 wide receivers, 63. Scissors boy.
Actually, slow down. Close right. Pour down. We're going. Ready to go.
2nd and 10. Johnson throwing on the run and completing. Adonis Jennings went up to get it. Gain of 13.
All right, here we go. 3 wides. Train right, 62 Utah.
Don't show it soon.
Buff from train
Way
right.
off a little bit. Buff. Close left. 4 down, 47. We're good. Buff. We're going. Ready to go.
On 1st and 10, passing and completing. Similar to that first down play in the last series. 4th catch for Trey McBride.
And a nice throw here, low and outside. You have that comeback route in isolation. You see that corner bail, no problem. Throwing low and outside away from the defender where only your guy can get it. It's nice timing, nice accuracy, and a pretty good start so far to the second half for Josh Johnson, his passing attack.
Just over midfield. Johnson throwing, got a man wide open. It's Whitfield, he couldn't come up with the grab.
Man, Whitfield was so open, working across the field. Zone coverage, nobody accounting for him. Josh Johnson just tries to get it to him a little bit too late. If he would have seen him just a touch earlier, and you see the reaction from Johnson, he knows he let a big one get away right there to the speedy Whitfield on the over route.
Frank Kinda is never going to win that race trying to cover Kermit Whitfield. 2nd and 10, missed opportunity. Underneath DeJuan Harris. Good second effort by him.
B. Hold up. B. Brandon.
You guys hear Josh Johnson there speaking
right,
to the rest of his team.
Train right, 62 Utah. Out, Buff again. Buff.
He is so animated in the locker room, guys, as we heard Norm Chow give the call, but this was a guy that was laying into everybody in the first 5 minutes of halftime about their performance, including his own.
Got 2 to snap it here, guys. No way they got that off. They get a timeout, and all the flag comes in.
Delay of game. Offense, number 8. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
We talked about it at halftime, how this is a week-to-week lead. I mean, this LA offense was so in sync a week ago. And here they look nothing like that same team.
Yeah, a couple steps forward and a step back. I mean, just the urgency is there, but they can't seem to tie it all together at this point. Right there, that's on Josh Johnson. You just got to be aware. I mean, you got to be able to see it. I know you're trying to communicate and make sure your protection's sound, but big difference between 3rd and 11, 3rd and 6, even though it's probably or potentially still 4-down territory depending on what they get on this particular play.
Johnson going for it over Jordan Smallwood. A flag comes in, and Drayvon Askew-Henry is wondering why. Now a couple of flags. Andrew Soro is over there as well. Remember, New York lost their cool last week. And usually it's just the officials who are throwing flags. See what Askew-Henry does with that penalty marker. So that might be for the second flag. First flag might have been for taunting.
Bad call late. Holy mackerel.
There were 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Holding. Defense, number 29, 5-yard penalty. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, throwing the flag at an official, number 29 of the defense. That penalty is also enforced. 1st down.
So again, the penalties were an issue. New York totally lost their cool a week ago. They have a lead here at home, and they're just bailing out Los Angeles now on this drive.
Yeah, bad right there. They said number 29, but it was 22. It was Askew-Henry. You just got to keep your cool, man. And you're off the field. I didn't like how late the call came in. The official had a tough time grabbing it out of his pocket initially. But you can't react to a bad play with a worse play by throwing it back at the official.
Askew-Henry started all 51 games of his career at West Virginia. That's a school record. You think Oliver Luck is happy about that? Wonder if Drayvon will be hearing from the commissioner of the XFL this week. As Johnson is taken down, sacked by Jarrell Owens, his 2nd sack.
This is just a naked off the right side, and you're going to see Owens unblocked. And piece of cake. Naked means the guy on the end of the line is not accounted for. So basically that play fake, that handoff action has to hold the defender. That time he was not fooled. Johnson was dropped for a big loss. Great play defensively there by New York.
2nd and 20. Underneath to Harris. Crashes down inside the 30. There's a marker back at the 43.
Hey, man, I know you let your emotions boil over there a little bit. What happened during that play?
I felt like it was a competitive play. The ref threw the flag in my lap. And then I guess I got to just, I don't know. I guess I just got to move on to the next play. Can't let my emotions get the best of me.
All right, man, get back out there.
Thank you.
That last penalty on Los Angeles negates a 10-yard gain.
As a corner, you have to have short memory, and a good job there by Askew-Henry. Hey, look, it happened. Let my emotions get the best of me. Live to play the next one. You might get torched, but you might have a chance on the next play to make a huge play. So corners, like quarterbacks, very, very short memories.
2nd and 30. What's the play sheet say for that? Adonis Jennings underneath to the 41 of New York.
All right, here we go. Train right. 62 Utah. Take what you want outside, maybe Pumas, and get the buff game going.
62 on. It's all right. Buff. 40 off, 56 off.
Utah has a drive concept. So I expect them to try to work Whitfield across the field like this, underneath.
set it up underneath. It is Whitfield indeed, Greg, right on the money. Andrew Sorrow makes the stop. Going to be 4th down.
It's kind of a strange part of the field, too. I mean,
field goal is good. Field goal, go. Field goal, field goal, field goal.
Smart play there, though, knowing where your field goal kicker, Nick Novak, where he's comfortable from. I don't have to necessarily try to get it all. Let's get it to a point where we can at least try to take advantage.
This will be going into the wind for Nick Novak from 48 yards. 38-yard field goal kicker, 10-year veteran in the National Football League. Snap and placer, good. And looks like it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. That might have been Owens got a hand on it. Jarrell Owens, who's played a big role for New York today with a couple of sacks, got a hand on it.
How about big number 91? Finding a seam, getting his hands up and tipping the ball. The Guardians are alive.
Welcome back here with Wildcat starting quarterback Josh Johnson. You guys just came off the field. I know you seem very frustrated. I heard you say that if you don't know the play out here, you can't be out. So how do you correct this with your team?
We got to focus up, man. It's that simple. Like, we got to focus up and do our job. It's just that simple. Nothing more, nothing less.
In terms of, I know you just got off the phone with your offensive coordinator. What did he say to you?
Just keep doing what he's doing. We just talking about what they're doing on defense, and then we just got to go out here and execute. We're not executing at all right now. That's 0.
Steve.
Perez, deep shot. Looking for Joe Horn. Incomplete. Mike Stevens, who had an excellent game with 2 interceptions a week ago on the coverage. LA had a 10-play drive, took 5.5 off the clock and nothing to show for it with a blocked field goal.
Yeah, and I like the Guardians here saying, hey, we're going to take the top off the defense. Let's soften them up a bit, see if we can steal one first play for us offensively here in the second half. Pretty well thrown, just slightly inside. Unable to connect there on the deep ball.
It's actually a 6.5-minute drive for Los Angeles. Nothing to show for it. Perez out to Colby. Pearson makes a man miss. He's out to the 44. Ahmad Dixon forced him out.
It has definitely been a completely different looking team today.
Let's look at the third down conversion. That's the one that jumps out.
And honestly, that's the quarterback. If you want to look at the best teams in the NFL, it's usually the best quarterbacks. So Perez has been a stabilizing force.
New York was 1 for 10 on third down in the opener and won that game. That's their one win to this point. How do you go 1 for 10 on third down and win? 3rd and 4. It's a catch. It's Cook. They're going to spot him short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and short, 4th and inches.
They're better off going for it here, guys, from a percentage standpoint.
This is a gutsy call with an 8-point lead, 7 minutes to play in the third. Interesting.
Some indecision, too.
Punt it, punt it, punt it.
You got to be aware their personal protector on punt for New York is Marquise Williams. He's their backup quarterback, so a capable option if they did choose to fake it here, too. So keep an eye on number 12. They have faked it with success in week 2 against DC.
Justin Vogel will get the snap. Whitfield the fair catch at the 18-yard line. 6:24 to play in the third. ESPN's presentation of the XFL on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. When Diana tells you that Josh Johnson was really frustrated, here's what she meant by that.
So go. What is you? You got him. You got to seal the end.
You could hear like some bones crunching on that. Here's Johnson, rolling, throwing against his body, and it's incomplete. Brandon Barnes could not hang on to it.
I understand the frustration, too. Josh Johnson asking, you got to steal that edge. Unblocked guy just nailed me, and it's been a completely different looking team after the explosiveness that was on display in the fireworks last week against DC. It has been nothing of it here working against an inspired Guardians group that had not been playing well coming into this game.
More impressed. We thought the defenders were really good going into that game last week. Just getting rid of it there. Couldn't hook up with Jordan Smallwood. 3rd and 10. TJ Barnes the pressure.
As you see right there, trying to work it as you see that ball just outside. A little bit off the mark for Josh Johnson. He's thrown it pretty well today. Just hasn't been great on 3rd down and haven't been able to really get a whole lot of momentum going with their offense.
Here's the blitz. Johnson steps up and throws. Big hit. It's caught by Smallwood, but he's shy of the marker and a flag comes in. Andrew Sorrow came in with a big lick, and we'll check the marker. If anybody lowered their helmet there, make the argument that's Smallwood, the offensive player.
No doubt. I mean, that's really dangerous there from Smallwood going in like that and initiating the contact with the crown of the helmet.
And then late, Ben Heaney comes in. Shoulder to the head of Smallwood.
Cash,
let's
third
see.
Down. There is no foul on the play for an illegal hit on the receiver. The result of the play is a catch. 3rd down.
I think it should be 4th down.
I'm going to give it to you right now.
It's going to be 4th down, I believe, not 3rd.
And you just heard Winston Moss say, you want it? They give it to you. It sounds like he's going to want to go for it here. And they're discombobulated. Guys don't know what they're doing. They need to call timeout.
From their own 27. Big spot in the game. What a gamble. Johnson throwing for the big play, little back shoulder, fight for the ball, and it falls incomplete. And then a flag comes in. Bryce Jones and Jordan Smallwood were battling. And what in essence a 50-50 ball, let's see. That's on a 4th and 2. It's a pivotal call here.
Pass interference. Defense, number 29. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Critical penalty against New York's Bryce Jones.
And if you see that right arm grabbing the shoulder pad, that's the correct call. And it's tough on a defender to try to cover those back shoulder plays. And the 31-yard penalty is massive, especially on 4th down. But man, there's just nothing you can do against a well-thrown back shoulder. But if he didn't initiate the contact, would have likely been a catch.
Circle that play. Let's remember that flag. Off the play fake. Here's Johnson, loads up, he's got a man. It's Whitfield in the end zone, no. Saeed Blacknall came up with it in the end zone. 42-yard score from Josh Johnson.
Seal.
I believe that's the first catch of the season.
Unbalanced flop left bunch. 388 seal. Bunch, 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 guys. Bunch, bunch, bunch.
Gonna go for 2 in the tie. Johnson, Smallwood, got it. And it's a tie ball game with 4:37 to play in the third quarter. And that penalty flag and the pass interference on Bryce Jones on 4th down looms large.
Man, the pass interference right here and the correct call. A lot of contact between Bryce Jones and Smallwood, and they get new life. So what do? They go heavy, play action, but he's looking at the safety. Josh Johnson says, watch this safety as he's starting to kind of make this break. That safety stays put and stops, and as a result, Blacknall gets over the top, and next thing you know, it's a perfectly thrown football and a touchdown. So a great job of taking advantage of the additional opportunity, but the safety in the back end for New York, you got to stay deeper than the deepest. Just a terrible play there defensively from New York.
Diana.
Saeed. Hey guys, so I'm here with Saeed. First catch of the season for you, and it's a touchdown.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes in this game. Just play your part. You got to just keep grinding and grinding. And if that's your opportunity, you make the most of it.
I heard your teammates on the sideline say, he kept saying, you got to believe in me, you got to believe in me, and then you went out and proved it.
You got to. You just got to keep pressing. Football is a game of emotions. You can't get caught up in it.
Was this your first snap of this entire game?
No. This is my first catch of the season. Pretty much the other one was out of bounds, but we ain't going to talk about that. We got one.
We'll keep it positive, guys. Steve.
We had yet to mention Saeed Blacknall's name. He's a local product from New Jersey. Played his college football at Penn State. Nickname of Megatron Jr. Makes the big catch in the end zone for the touchdown there. Welcome to the XFL.
I love the Megatron Jr. That's oxymoronic, right? It's like a jumbo shrimp. That's amazing. Megatron and then Jr. That seems, that works. I like that, but a beautiful route and really, really well done. He was patient. He didn't outrun the quarterback's arm. Gave a nice sell to the corner and then took it up over the top of the safety and secured the catch. Just beautifully done. Making that first catch count.
Had a 70-yard touchdown in the Big Ten championship game while at Penn State, and that is still a record for the championship game of the Big Ten. First down and 10, New York. Perez, sideline too far for Mikhail McKay. Winston Moss while that was happening.
You want it? I'm going to give it to you right now. Let's go, Saeed. Let's go, Saeed. Let's go, Saeed. Come on. Touchdown.
That's awesome. He's got Saeed. He's got Saeed. Well done.
Off the play fake, Perez to Jake Powell, the tight end, going to lose yardage on that play. Ahmad Dixon, the stop for LA. The complexion of this game changes now.
Yeah, this is a huge third down for New York. They haven't run anything here in the second half, only 5 offensive snaps.
63 Phantom. T.O. out here? Yeah, all right, here we go. 63 Phantom, here we go.
Hey, 4 down, base 57, base 57. Linda. Set. Ready, hut.
Colby Pearson just shy of the 30 and well short of the marker.
Get your ass out the field. What's up, big bro?
And the drive stalls out. Consecutive 3 and outs for New York.
If you look at,
they don't show any replays of the play. I'd love to see.
You got to think.
No, definitely single hack.
They need to get back to running the football a little bit. So far, 2 possessions, 2 3 and outs, and 6 passes for New York here in the second half. Need to get back to that balance attack they used so effectively in the first half.
Here's Vogel to Kermit Whitfield from the 24. Going nowhere fast. Coming up tonight, as soon as we are through over on Fox, The Seattle Dragons will go into the very noisy Dome in St. Louis, take on the Battlehawks. And then tomorrow, the highlight of this Week 4 schedule, the Texas Throwdown. It's Houston, it's Dallas, DJ Walker, Landry Jones go head-to-head. And then the night game tomorrow night on ESPN2. See how the Defenders can bounce back from their loss last week in Los Angeles, and can the Vipers get that elusive first victory of the season?
Very good, green. Ready to go.
Johnson throwing on the run for Brandon Barnes. Picks up 9 on first down. Mentioned some of those games. Take a look at the selections, the gentlemen.
I love it. And Luke's and I agree on the first two. Both like St. Louis, laying the points.
That's a lot of points, guys.
I think Seattle's a different team on the road. It's a difficult road trip. I don't love what they're doing offensively. Houston, they just have too much firepower for Dallas, even though I really like Dallas.
Juwan Harris making some people miss. He's across midfield. Luke's.
You don't like that DC line, huh, Greg?
What threw me off is seeing Tampa Bay open as a favorite,
right? And
now having the public all over DC. I like to fade the public, so I think I'm going to take Tampa plus the 2.5. Thinking they played so much better last week. A lot of positives. So I think with the momentum they created last week, playing at home,
that's next level. You would fade the public.
You got to fade the public. Come on.
We're going right to Vegas after this. Here's Juwan Harris. Maybe a yard forward progress and sent flying back. Minute 20 to play here in the third quarter.
Right bunch, Y outside, 386. Spacing, Y individual. Flop right bunch, 386. Spacing, Y individual.
So here's your Y to the top of the screen. Individual means Josh can give him whatever route he wants. Probably going to give him a slant with spacing down here to the bottom.
2nd and 9, good protection. Underneath it's Smallwood.
Decided to give the Y a fade. Didn't like his matchup out there and worked the spacing side. Spacing, just old school West Coast. There's the matchup to the top. Didn't like it. Maybe had a chance at the back shoulder potentially, but decided to work your spacing instead, which is always a good move. Spacing is tried and true.
It's a great zone beater.
One of my favorite plays in the playbook, man. Easy completion.
3rd and 3. Johnson throws, it's intercepted. It's picked off. Jamar Summers for New York leads to the first turnover of the game. With 10 seconds left in the third quarter, it's Summers. Local product from Orange, New Jersey, makes the play.
Man, what a play by Summers. It's a pretty well-thrown football, pretty accurate, but great coverage on the left side. Trying to work that little curl route, locked curl. Ball gets bobbled up in the air, and look what I found. Summers grabs it, takes it back the other direction. It's good late hands right there. You see him getting that left arm extended. Man, excellent stuff as we go down to Tom, who's standing by with Summers.
I tell you what, man, that's exciting. Got some tight coverage on the sideline right there. How'd you read it?
Shit. 3rd down, gotta make a play. That's all.
From a defensive perspective, I know you guys gave up the big touchdown on that last series. Yeah. You get the ball back, you get the momentum back. What's the message? What's the message going to be to your defense?
Hey, man, we bounce back. Bend, don't break.
All right.
And that will take us to the end of the third quarter. The football at midfield. Jamar Summers, the best cornerback on that Guardian squad. New York needed a play. Summers made it. Fourth quarter is next.
This copyrighted broadcast of the XFL and ESPN may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the XFL and ESPN.
I want to get a takeaway. I want you to start attacking the ball. Pick out!
Jim Herman asked for it, and Jamar Summers delivered. Got his hand in there and tipped the ball to himself. Now what will the New York offense do with it? I think they're going to start with a false start as we open up the fourth quarter, tied at 14.
Huh? Call on JJ.
False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
It's Anthony Coyle starting left guard. College ball at Fordham, local product from Staten Island. These are the live lines updated. For that last touchdown, LA was getting a field goal, and well, now they're giving the field goal.
Yeah, that thing has been back and forth.
Second down and 9.
Surprised, too, with New York being an underdog with the ball, too. That's surprising.
6 defensive backs in there for LA. Perez trying to get rid of it. Able to complete the Colburn. And an excellent tackle for Ahmad Dixon. Wrapped him up. Dixon likes to talk back there.
Let's go gun trips left.
Not yet.
Gun
Split
trips
trap.
left. 60. No, let's
Split
go
trap.
gun half right.
6
Gun
days.
half right. 63 Diner.
Split trap, 6 days.
63. Hey, 4 down, Mike 5-7.
Over there. Diner side, over there.
Third down and 11.
52.
LA rushing 4. Perez had some running room if he wanted it. Now has to get rid of it. Hits Colby Pearson, who gets the first down. Cool and calm is Luis Perez.
Man, great job. I mean, knowing where he's at on the field. I mean, he is so close to the line of scrimmage. Steals that right side of the offensive line compress, able to buy a little time, and when he approaches that line of scrimmage, the defender unlocks and keeps his eyes downfield. Excellent job by Perez.
And Pearson, too, knowing where the sticks are. That's the first down of this second half for New York. And now on the ground, Darius Victor. He has another first down.
Job, hey, keep holding that ball.
They just have not really tried here in the second half to try to run the ball whatsoever. And Victor, he might be their best offensive weapon, the most consistent playmaker. So they got to find ways to get the ball in his hands. And he's a load. Now, he's not the biggest dude in the world at 5'6", but he's 230. So these second halves, you want to lean on those big physical backs.
It is Victor. Little burst. Extra effort. And he's down to the 18-yard line. Darius Victor.
All right, 3 wides. 3 wides. Let's go gun trips right. Gun trips right. 62 poster. Z trailer XQ.
Darius Victor there. Picking up a first down on a 7th time today running the football. And New York, which had gone 3 and out the previous 2 possessions, feel like all of a sudden they've got something going here on this possession now.
Yeah, and it's no surprise that they're starting to run the football. That's what you have to do. This offense and these weapons at wide receiver, they're solid. But when you look at how LA structures their defense, they like to play with 2 high safeties. That's really inviting you to run the football. And they haven't really tried to get after it much here in the first 15, 20 minutes of the second half. But it looks like now they found that formula. They're finding that balance, and it appears as though they're going to try to run the ball consistently here in the red zone.
Diana can add.
Guys, LA coaches stepped in the huddle here, and they said 3 words over and over. Hold your edge.
Hold your edge, meaning on the edge of the line of scrimmage. Don't let that running back bounce outside. Keep contained, keep him between the tackles.
Pressure coming. Perez can't get out of there, and he's swung around at the 21-yard line. Latarius Brady brought him down.
Yeah, and on the right side, you're just going to see movement just coming around the edge. And he tries to step up, just not enough, though. as he just falls right into the lap on the retrace there defensively. That time they drop it back. I don't understand it. I mean, they're running the ball with such efficiency. They decided to throw it on 1st and 10. Now they're behind the sticks.
Blitz coming, not picked up. Perez trying to get out of there, and he'll be brought down. Ladarius Wiley. So Latarius Brady, the first sack, and then Ladarius Wiley, I'm back-to-back.
Oh, man, you just see Wiley run right through, and it looks like Victor's going to pick him up, and he bluffs him. Victor goes out into his route, and he's supposed to be responsible for the blitzing linebacker. You can't forget about your protection. I know you want to get out. I know you want to catch the pass, but you just vacated your responsibility, and as a result, now you're way behind the sticks after the second consecutive sack.
New York winds up settling for a field goal here. You get the feeling that's going to come back and burn them in the end. That timeout is charged for New York. Each team has one remaining for the final 11 and a half minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Curl, just
I was going to him. Yeah, I was going to him.
All right, just look for it.
Yeah, I was for sure going to you.
Yeah.
He was slightly outside of you, so I was waiting for you.
All right, here we go. Let's go. Gun half right. Gun half right, 76 Apache. Gun half right, 76 Apache. Be smart with it now. Be smart with it.
You hear that 76 Apache.
Go strong. Just go strong.
Not familiar with that route combination, but if I'm reminding Luis Perez here, hey, you cannot take another sack, because another sack here, then we're out of field goal range. So they have to get the ball out of his hands quickly.
76. Hey, 76.
McCrane's got the big leg, has already hit from 51 yards away today. This would be from about 47 right now. 3rd and 20.
180. Ready, hut.
Can't hook up with T.O. Redding, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, field goal. Field goal. Let's go now. Did you even look at inside?
That's a no doubt about it. You got 4th and 20, tied at 14 in the 4th quarter. You got to get the points here and take the lead.
I looked real quick, and then I was going outside because that corner was perfect. So I thought I could be able to throw. The seam was there? Yeah. Okay.
But you have to make the jump.
Joe!
Yeah. Hey, me, boy, that's me.
Matthew McCrane. Super accurate at Kansas State, and he's got that one too. 3 for 3 this afternoon for Matthew McCrane. And that last field goal is the difference in the game. 10:52 to play. New York by 3. Might we have the first ever XFL overtime game here today? Stick around. All right, Trey, thanks very much. NFL Combine is fascinating every year, and it continues to be just that. 10:52 left here in the 4th quarter. With New York having jumped out on a field goal. Here's Kermit Whitfield from the 11. Scampers out to the 30-yard line. Luis Perez with Mikhail McKay moments ago.
I kept running because nobody's right there.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Bro, just look.
When I see single high, I'm expecting you to come back.
Bro, just look, bro. If you look, you're going to see me wide open.
I may need you to be a leader here, because there's guys that I thought were going to be better than we are at doing that are just not. So don't be surprised if I don't lean on you.
So that's Gilbride talking to Mikhail McKay a week ago, talking about that leadership, and then McKay just moments ago, trying to be a leader along with his quarterback, Luis Perez, trying to figure things out.
And that's very normal. Like that, there's no discord there. Hey, guys are competitive. I want the ball. That was great. Those are the reactions and the interaction between quarterbacks and wide receivers that happen on every series.
Here's Josh Johnson loading up for a sideline shot, and it is caught. Trey McBride, what a grab. I'd like to see that one again myself.
Unbelievable catch. Man, as he secures it, you see, no problem. Ball doesn't move. Hold the pose. There he is. Hold it right there. Look at
Stick the landing.
Thumbs up.
44 yards on that reception from Trey McBride. Caught a touchdown pass earlier in the game. Caught 2 touchdown passes last week. Just trying to get the ball into Whitfield's hands any way they can. Somebody took a spill there. He's not wearing shoulder pads and a helmet.
And he got hit hard on the sideline. My goodness. As you see, hit. Oh, man.
Part of the security team here at MetLife Stadium. He's got his back to the play because he's watching the crowd, of course. That's his job.
Yeah, he popped right up, though. Hopefully they're okay. They're checking out over there. Looks like Diana's standing by. Hopefully everything's fine.
And now a flag comes in. I think they had 12 players on the field for Los Angeles.
Illegal substitution against the offense. 12 players in the formation. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Guys, Trey McBride, the wide receiver at LA, is really upset with the coaching staff here because they're not getting the play call and the personnel into their helmets soon enough so they can know who's coming on, who's going off, and get the personnel grouping right. And a little confusion here on LA sideline.
Well, let's listen in for Nord Chow here to see how quickly he's getting that in as they're trying to make their substitutions and play with urgency.
9.5 to go.
Oklahoma. We're going. Ready. To go.
On the ground, Dewan Harris. Won't get back to the line of scrimmage. Ryan Mueller made sure of that.
Okay, here you go. 3-3-3. Colt left, flop left, 63 Colt, Y middle. Take what you can get. Take what you can get. Flop left, 63 Colt, Y middle.
Banjo. DJ, go. Get ready to go.
Jarrell Owens checks in. Pass rusher for New York. Couple of sacks. And the blocked field goal. Here's Johnson. Being chased down by Savon Walker. And it goes incomplete. And it's 4th down.
Field goal, field goal, field goal. Field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal.
So Nick Novak will trot out. Had his last field goal attempt blocked. This from 45 to try and tie the game. Snap of the place are good. And that field goal is pushed to the right. No good. And that keeps the score 17-14 in favor of New York. 8:02 to go here in the 4th. Did you watch it again? It's all good, but the kick itself. Showed you LA had 12 men on the field, and Kermit Whitfield trying to hustle off the field.
And you
see number 10.
Yeah, I mean, the frustration, you see palms of the sky. I mean, there's just a lot of confusion there, and here's Josh Johnson's interaction with his sideline.
Put the person in that's supposed to be in.
It's very normal. It's, I assure you, very, very normal.
Veteran quarterback, 33 years old, showing his leadership as Tim Cook breaks one for his longest run. That's 12 yards.
Yeah, and expect to see a heavy dose of the run game. They abandoned it last time once they got close to the red zone. They threw it a few times. Probably not going to make that same mistake. Their running game is their bread and butter. And you would anticipate them leaning heavily on that front, try to wear down this LA defensive front here late in this game.
Got the tight end Bibbs in a fullback position.
Oh, come on.
Looked like they wanted to throw out of it, and Perez is going to run and slide down at midfield. Looked like a busted play there.
That's me.
He thought he had a little locked route out there. Just throw a little dump. Piece of cake throw, pitch and catch. And he's not on the same page with his wide receiver, but it sounds like it was Perez's mistake based on his reaction after the play. But way to make something out of nothing there.
2nd and 7.
Ready, hut.
See if we get a hold there. There comes in the flag as Perez throws through the hands of Bibbs, but I think it's coming back anyway for a holding against New York.
Why are they even throwing it, Greg?
I don't understand why they're throwing it.
I don't either.
Well, there's the man to ask.
Holding. Offense number 70. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains 2nd down.
Yeah, and you're going to see the defensive end try to work inside, and as he works inside, he's going to grab him right there. Easy call for the official, but like what Luke's just said and what I was saying before that, you get a great first down run to start the drive, and then you go back to the passing game. I'm just not really sure why.
And now 2nd and 17, you almost have to pass. Try to stay ahead of the sticks. Inside handoff to Tim Cook. Bring up a 3rd and extra long.
Let's go. Gun trips left. Gun trips left. 63 double chip. Z sail. Let's go. Eyes on the safety now. Let's go.
Here's your Z.
Too high. Get backside. Let's go.
Here's your Z. He's going to run what we call a sail route, which is up and out, kind of like a 15-yard corner route, but it's a litlittle bit flatter than a corner. So that's where the read will start. Let's see if Perez works in that direction.
3rd and 13. Protection's good. Coverage must be good, too. And Perez has a man wide open. And McKay dropped it. Was in the clear and drops the football. 4th down.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, Perez does a great job of not seeing anything, gets all the way backside, moves in the pocket, climbs in the pocket, and throws a beautiful pass, and McKay, so wide open, just takes his eyes off of it just ever so slightly as it falls through his mitts. That one will pain you.
Here's Vogel. Punting to Whitfield. It's a good punt. The swirling winds now, you can see, probably was a factor on the Novak miss. There's Whitfield, was fortunate not to muff that punt of 46 yards. Diana.
Look, you just missed that, obviously. You came off the field here. Kind of what was going through your mind when it went through your hands there?
Just a heartbreaker play right there. Missed opportunity. Got to make those. But I know it's coming back to me, so I ain't really worried about it.
Yeah, the one thing I did notice is you went right to your quarterback, and you're like, I'm going to get you on the next one.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity. Scramble drill. It's supposed to be a touchdown, but we'll fix that.
Short memories, right?
Absolutely.
Guys.
No doubt. I mean, he made a great play for his quarterback earlier on the back shoulder. Look, I mean, these things happen, man. It happens to the best in the world. So, as a quarterback, the only thing you can say to McKay is, hey, man, I'm coming right back to you. Next drive, honestly, we've been saying, hey, run the ball, run the ball. No, first play, I might just try to get McKay a completion if possible.
Starting from the 11 now. Worst starting field position of the game for Los Angeles, down by 3 with 5 minutes to play. And on first down, they're throwing to Trey McBride Picks up the first down.
Trey McBride clearly moving into a leadership role in his receiving unit for Los Angeles. He had an earful for their crew on the sideline to get lined up, know where they're supposed to go, and make the plays. Referencing Josh Johnson from earlier, but if you don't know what you're doing, you got to get on the sideline.
Hey, 62.
Over 100 yards receiving so far for Trey McBride.
Hey, we're going. Ready. To go.
Able to complete Jordan Smallwood down the sideline out to the 40. Fifth catch for Smallwood so far. Speaking of key receivers for Los Angeles, no Nelson Spruce. He came in as the second leading receiver in the XFL. And in the running game, they're also without Martez Carter, who had 3 touchdowns last week. These two were a big part of the reason they hammered the DC defenders by 30. And they're certainly missing those 2 big play performers here in New Jersey today. On 1st and 10. Johnson down the sideline, and Kermit Whitfield could not hang on. Pretty nice toss there by Johnson.
That was a good throw, and just a little bit more air underneath it to allow Kermit a chance to get his hands on it. It's one that Kermit probably thinks he should have made, and one that Josh probably thinks he should have made, but man, that would have been a heck of a catch, full layout down the sideline.
Levante Kermit Whitfield. Big fan of the Muppets growing up, apparently. Thus the nickname. 2nd down and 10. Johnson underneath. Adonis Jennings is swung around. Shy of midfield.
Okay, here we go. Dual right, 386 cat, Y up. Just get us the first down, babe. Dual right, 386 cat, Y up.
Hear that 386, that means quick game. 3-step drop, quick game. So expect the ball to come out of Josh Johnson's hands pretty quick here as he receives the snap.
3rd and 3. Doesn't feel the pressure. Johnson is hit from behind by Jarrell Owens. That's going to go as an incomplete pass.
It's an incomplete pass. The pass's hand was going forward when the hit occurred. The result of the play is a 4th down.
That's a big break.
Yeah, and you're going to see the left side of this offensive line try to go for these 2 defenders, but no problem at all as they overslide it. There it is, which allows plenty of room for the defender to squeak through. It's just poorly done there by the left side of that offensive line, more specifically the left guard.
I mean, this might be the game of the balance on 4th down and 3 here. From the 46. Johnson to throw for it. Back shoulder, and it's dropped. Saeed Blacknall was looking for a penalty flag and won't get it that time. Jeremiah McKinnon on the coverage. Blacknall, whose first catch of the season was a touchdown earlier, can't come up with that one, and they turn it over on downs.
Yeah, they've gone to that underthrown deep ball a couple times with success today. This time, no contact there between Blacknall and the defender. Underthrown, just unable to secure it. Pretty good throw, pretty good look. They're going to have another opportunity, but man, big play there defensively from New York. You got to think now. I mean, how many times have we seen them drop back and throw it? No, you got to stick to the run game. The Guardians have to run the football here.
How do you know LA is going to get another opportunity? 2:43 left. On the ground. Darius Victor. What effort by Darius Victor. You mentioned the height and weight earlier. It's worth repeating. 5'6", 226. Bowling ball. And an LA Wildcats player is down. It's Will Smith. This does stop the clock for Los Angeles.
This was obviously a big collision here. Victor is such a low center of gravity. You see the collision between him and Will Smith. It's really physical there at the point of attack, and hopefully Will Smith's okay.
2nd and 2.
East Zeus.
Clock still stopped.
Yeah, Z now.
East Zeus. Meaning a run likely to the right.
Second sound. Hey, second sound.
You hear second sound, so they're going to go with a quick snap count here under center.
Right back to Victor. A yard. Taiwan Jones makes the stop. He might have been the replacement for Will Smith there. And that'll take us down to the 2-minute warning. In a field goal game, New York by 3 with the football. 2 minutes to play. High wire daredevil Nick Wallenda crossed the Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls, and Times Square. Now he's doing his highest and longest walk yet across an active volcano. Live. 1,800 feet long, 1,800 feet high, nothing between them and the lava except a 1-inch wire. As Darius Victor crashes through on 3rd down and 1, the ball pops out. Certainly looked like he was down and you heard the whistles. Volcano Live, Nick Wallenda, Wednesday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
I legitimately have anxiety just thinking about that. I mean, that is, whew.
That's lava.
That's lava. Yeah, I mean, that's.
I'm just saying, it's one thing to fall a great distance that would hurt. That's lava.
That's true. Yeah, it's true.
Has there ever been a sport or a stunt where wind is a bigger factor?
New York will take the timeout. That's their last.
Hey, they gotta reset it. He can't be on the ball. Hey, hold on. Hey. Hey, let's go. Who gives a fuck? Hey, come here. Hey, who gives a shit? Let's fucking run it down the throat and end this game. That's it. Hey, get loud. I can barely hear you. Okay, I got you. Let's go. I don't know. He hadn't called me. Let's go. Hey, snap first.
Get the snap first. Always good advice, top at center.
Here we go.
Good idea, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That was really good emotion there. Of course, with the new timing rules, under 2 minutes, still need another first down to run it out because the clock does stop for 5 seconds. Plus, so still.
And LA's got a timeout left, 1.
10 yards away from their second win of the season.
Three tight ends in there. And LA knows the running game is coming and stopped for a loss. Reggie Howard was in there for the tackle for Los Angeles. As you see the game clock stop. Takes about 7 seconds to spot it. Then they start the play clock.
Bullshit here. Learn some bullshit
and then it starts to wind.
Play your keys.
90 ticks left. New York trying to put this away. What a difference between 2-2 and 1-3 in a season that is a 10-game regular season. That's what's on the line here. Perez taking every second he can. There's the pitch to Victor. Picks up a few. Reggie Howard the tackle.
I'll tell you, Greg, in that run game right there, I'm not even so sure I'd toss it.
Yeah, it's
just hand it off, man.
It's a little dangerous. I like the idea of getting them, trying to widen the defense just a little bit.
Go stretch then.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Same formation.
All right, here we go.
Let's see if they do a toss to the right this time.
3rd and 9. LA saving that timeout. The handoff going nowhere. That'll be another loss on the play. Roderick Henderson showing everybody what he's all about. And there's the timeout by Los Angeles. The difference in this game, Nick Novak had a field goal blocked by Jarrell Owens and then missed a field goal from 44 yards away. That's the difference and then some. With a 3-point New York lead, On a 4th and 12 here, upcoming.
You get it from here? I can get it there. You're gonna do it.
No, let's go. We'll go. All right, here we go. Offense.
Asking Matthew McCrane.
Go.
So he asked the kicker if he can get it there. The kicker says yes, and then he runs the offense out there anyway to go for it.
I'm actually surprised because McCrane earlier was good from 46 with ease. I mean, 10 yards at least going this direction. So I'm surprised they didn't try to at least make it.
I agree.
A 6-point game.
Zero's on the play clock. Now they're going to have to kick it.
Delay of game. Offense number 7. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Push him back 5 more. Diana.
What do you want to do? Well, guys are down here having a conversation about what they want to do. Obviously, McCrane wants to go out there. You think you could go out there and made that one?
I'm pretty confident that we could get a good operation. It's just with the field position wise, it's not worth the risk right now. So we'll hit a punt and try to pin them. We just don't want to give them the field position.
Great, thanks, guys.
Tricky punt here with the ball spotted at the 36 because a touchback will bring it out to the 35.
Correct, and then essentially a touchback's a 1-yard punt.
Right, with no real time coming off the clock. Let's see how they play it. Justin Vogel trying to seal the deal here. Pooch is one, gonna let it bounce, and now have to fall on it.
Not a smart play there.
You want to hope that bounces into the end zone.
Right, not a smart play though, because wasted 2 or 3 seconds just by letting it hit the ground. You gotta run up and field that.
And you can't risk it not bouncing into the end zone, then your field position's even worse. 33 seconds left. Los Angeles down just a field goal.
Remember, you have your whole playbook, though. You don't have to be mindful of the sideline. You can work the middle of the field.
Rush, Houston, rush. Circus. We're good. Ready. To go.
33 seconds left. Here's Josh Johnson to throw. Out to Kermit Whitfield. They'll use the sideline. Again, Nick Novak, if you're thinking field goals, 10-year veteran around the NFL with the Chargers, with Houston, with Kansas City, Washington, Arizona. But he's 0 for 2 here today. Field goal blocked and missed from 44. Remains the difference in the game. Maybe he'll get another chance. Oh, had a wide open man. And McBride could not come up with that one. Looked like a pretty good ball.
Looked really close. Maybe just a little bit wide.
Right.
One that you got to make, though, in a 2-minute situation. If you're back against the wall, still got to be really aggressive here. But most important thing here on 3rd down, look, you got to get the first down more than anything. I know you're thinking big plays, chunk yardage, but first down needs to be your first priority.
1 for 10 on 3rd down conversions. 0 for their last 8. Johnson throwing. There is the first down on McBride. Inbounds. Clock will stop at 19 seconds.
No, first go. Hey, 62, first go. First go, first go. Yellow, yellow. Ready, to go.
Again, that same side. Again, it's McBride.
First go.
Looks stressful.
Very.
Gain of 18 on that last play.
It looks like he's not even calling a play. He's given Josh Johnson the keys to the car, so Josh is calling it from this point forward.
Hit as he throws. Try to go a little back shoulder, and Blacknall could not come up with that one. Bryce Jones on the coverage. 7 seconds left now.
This will be a spot, too, where you can still push it, work the middle of the field, but you alert your guys now. Immediate clock.
Probably need 25 yards at least.
At least.
Hey, 62, 62.
Just to have a chance, especially working from left to right, where the wind has been more of a factor at this end of the field.
Dicey situation for Josh Johnson in L.A. Underthrown, incomplete for McBride. Down the stretch, he's gone to McBride exclusively. 3 seconds left. And now this is it. Nick Novak's been taken out of the equation.
And you hear him call a ladder, which means he's going to throw it. It's a very standard play. He's going to throw it right here to a curl route. He's going to run a guy out and try to see the hook and ladder to the left side.
New York rushing 4. They've dropped everybody back into coverage. Harris, last-ditch effort here. Flag comes out. That's Blacknall. He'll pitch it back for Johnson. He'll throw it for Jennings. Flags continue to come in here. This might be the longest last play ever. Here's Jennings now. Pitches it back. Hits the Blacknall now. And he'll finally be dropped at the 19-yard line by T.J. Barnes. And there are a lot of flags on the field. There's a whole lot of dirty laundry. Got four flags on the field right now. And it's a big huddle.
So all the illegal for pass. Okay.
Yeah, offense.
Yeah, all right. All right, yeah. And legal forward pass, okay. Yeah.
Right here, 72.
There were 2 fouls in the play, both by the offense. Personal foul, illegal blindside block, number 59. Also, illegal forward pass against the offense. By rule, the game is over.
The game is over. And that game check for the New York Guardians will have a little something extra in it this week, with the $100,000 bonus split by everyone on the active roster when you win the game. So New York evens their record at 2-2. And LA drops to 1-3. New York, the home dog, they cover, and this stays well under. Pretty much everybody's under, except games involving the Houston Roughnecks. Down to Diana.
Actually, Steve, I got it here with Coach Kevin Gilbride. What an exciting football game. Your quarterback was a calming presence. Assess his performance today.
I think just that. I mean, the thing about him, he always maintains his poise. He's very composed. He knows he had some opportunities that he didn't see him and he didn't take full advantage of, and yet he's able to recover from that. And that's what you're looking for, because nobody's going to play perfectly. No one's playing flawlessly. But can you stay within your game and continue to play and lead your team? And he did that today.
Thank you very much, Coach.
You're welcome.
Diana?
Hey guys, I'm here with Luis Perez, who's getting tons of hugs from this LA Wildcats team. Of course, you spent some time there. Luis, your center told me that you had command in the huddle. It's your poise that made the difference for you. What do you think you did to help this team get away?
Well, man, there's a few plays I wish I had back, man. But you know what? At the end of the day, go back, watch the film, learn. But ultimately, it's about improving, right? So next week, I want to come out and I want to play better.
Luis, this team's been through some turmoil over the last few weeks. Getting a win back here at home, it helps you guys with the playoffs as well. How have you helped lift this team to get them back focused?
Yeah, I think it's all about momentum, right? I think once we got this win, I think it'll be good to stack them moving forward. We got a lot of great leaders on this team, man. And this week we knew that this was a must-win week. And, you know, I'm just glad the guys came out and played.
You've had some perfect games, 12 as a bowler. How does this compare?
Oh, well, there's a lot of comparisons, man. I'll tell you what. There's a couple of plays I wish I had back. There's a couple of frames I wish I would have threw a better shot. But, no, ultimately, they're great sports.
We're going to go bowl one day. I stink.
I love it.
Guys, Steve stinks too.
Diana, a natural athlete. She can't bowl? What do you mean? We open today's broadcast with some of the prop bets. This is relatively new for the XFL. McElroy was on the under for Luis Perez, and he, in fact, did not throw an interception. McElroy thought Mikhail McKay would have over 31.5 receiving yards. He winds up with just 12. The XFL continues tomorrow on ESPN2 at 7 p.m. Night game in Tampa. Can the Vipers get their first victory? Join us next Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC, when the Dragons of Seattle visit the high-flying Roughnecks of Houston. For producer Josh Hoffman, our director Anthony DeMarco, Greg McElroy, Tom Luganbill, Diana Rossini, and our outstanding crew, I'm Steve Levy. Thanks for watching the XFL on ESPN. Up next, the NFL Scouting Combine from Indy.